Hello everyone. So quick review of England versus New Zealand. New Zealand won the toss, put England to bat in. England had a decent start but didn't get enough runs on the board. 166 for 4. I think from if you look at the England batting powers, they still had Sam Willing, uh, who didn't bat at all, and then Chris Wokes as well, who can hit a few blows. So yeah, England didn't get enough. Probably they could have tried to get 10 or 15 more runs, but I think the matchups, just because New Zealand had a lot of bowling options and the fact that New Zealand are the most economical team of the tournament so far, and they have actually put the emphasis on their bowling by having that extra option. So I think that worked for New Zealand, and they just when Moeen and David Malan were batting, they didn't ball Mitch Santner, right, because of the matchup, and they had the option. They have Jimmy Neesham, they have Glenn Phillips, who is a wicket keeper and can can bowl, and they also had Darren Mitchell, who is actually as good as, I would say, Hardik Pandya in the death over, right? So he is a proper all rounder, and they haven't used him for the bowling so far in the tournament. So they had a lot of options, and I think that is one of the reasons they restricted England to a slightly below par total, or about par total, I would say. And yeah, they didn't let England build the momentum. I thought the start was good. I thought Livingston, I think he could have done really he could have done real damage in the end. I thought Jimmy Nisham got lucky in the last over, right? But I think four, five, six balls to Liam Livingston, he could have hit three sixes, and the kind of to quote Simon Dole, big boy power that Liam Livingston has, he could have easily got England 10 or 15 more runs in that over. So overall, a decent score still. And then in New Zealand's batting, England got a great start. Chris Wokes did what he does in the power plays, but just the belief that New Zealand have, I think they built pretty well, and Convoy and Darry Mitchell, I think they just did a good job of building the innings. I thought Convoy's inning was as good as Darry Mitchell's. Darry Mitchell probably went till the end, and that's why probably we will remember that inning, and he also got man of the match. But Convoy actually provided them the momentum, right? And yeah, Convoy did pretty well to kind of keep New Zealand in the hunt, right? And yeah, and then Jimmy Neesham came, and Jimmy Neesham did what he was assigned to do, what his role was. And I think again it puts the emphasis on the fact that nowadays batsmen have a lot of belief, right, in terms of, I think batsmen probably believe that they can chase 60-70 runs in last 5 overs. I think if they have one or two, you know like if they are 4 or 5 down, I think batsmen believe that they can do that, and you saw that again. So nowadays I think big hitters back themselves to kind of get 14-15 runs in over in last 2-3 overs, which I think is a pretty significant trend. Special mentions, I think Liam Livingston was again a standout for me, and I think he is going to be a really valuable player in the T20 circuit for next 4 or 5 years. Like, he has got incredible power hitting abilities, and he's also he also provides you the spin option, and he actually balls off spin as well as leg spin. So for the analysts, like, he's a dream player, right? And then Jimmy Neesham, I think again, I think he should have been. So my man of the match actually was Jimmy Neesham, because he actually won the match for New Zealand, right? Darry Mitchell was actually struggling, but when Neesham came in, then I think he got going, and then Mitchell also started hitting when England bowlers were under pressure. But actually Neesham was the first one to put them under pressure, right? And I think Neesham also got the wicket of Liam Livingston, which I have earlier mentioned, could have made a difference of 10-15 runs, right? So again, I think these were the two standout players, right? And then a special mention to Moeen Ali and David Malan. I think they batted decently. I think probably they could have upped the ante a bit, right? And I think, yeah, the one of the things I also wanted to highlight that the lower batting order and the batting depth actually matters, right? So I think New Zealand could go hard as they did was because they had Team Saudi and Milne batting at 8 and 9, right? And they can get 8 over 20 or 1 over 15 runs. So I think like lower order batting strength matters to the point that it gives your batsmen some extra confidence to kind of go hard earlier. Though New Zealand didn't go hard earlier enough, I think they tried to take down Liam Livingston's 16th over, right? So they needed 60 runs, I think, in 5 overs, and then Liam Livingston bowled a really wonderful over, and he just gave 3 runs, and then they needed 57 in the four, which they chased in 3 overs. But yeah, again, a great match of cricket. I think so far one of the best match of the tournament. And yeah, New Zealand does what they always do. They scrap through, and they find a way to kind of get into the finals of big tournaments. And I think they probably the lack of options actually benefit them because they stick to a team. They empower their players, and they make them actually better players. I think you can see the example of Terry Mitchell. I think he is now uh, an opener, right, who has never opened, I think, probably ever, and now like he has done pretty well for himself and his team. So kudos to New Zealand, and a great match. Looking forward to the final. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.